probably the most important game of this weekend. Huge comeback. Seattle made it a lot more interesting than it probably needed to be. JSN, big time play. He's starting to show up, their first round pick. Richard, the Seahawks get a thrilling win. Your thoughts on this game?
Defense. Mitchell, this defense, and Enrique, you dropped another one. He had one in the game, Mitchell. Great interception. Could have had two in the game. Cap off. Go home. Eat some pizza. But let's hold it down. Because he did have a great game. But Jordan Brooks played another incredible game. He played incredible last week. We didn't really talk about him a lot. Played incredible this week. Had a great game. Julian Love had a crucial interception, clutch interception down the stretch. And he didn't have the greatest game, Gino. He had a couple. I'm sure he wanted back a little bit of a low throw. That Hurst interception tipped it up to himself, intercepted. But when they needed to have it, he had poise. He got the ball to DK Metcalf for a crucial third down conversion. He got the ball to JSN, one of his 3 catches, crucial. And JSN got up that sideline for the touchdown, the game-winning touchdown with, I think, 38 seconds to go. But this defense, again, Clint Hurt deserves a ton of credit because he's turned this defense around. I told these guys, Bobby Wagner's leadership means more than you think it does. And finally, they brought him back, and his defense has turned it around. They have 2 really good corners. They have 2 really good safeties, good linebacker play. They brought Frank Clark in because they lost Nwosu, and that was a terrible loss. And that's Uchenna was having, they just paid him. It felt really good. You lose a guy like that. They brought Frank Clark in. He's going to help him out, but that D-line is playing well. Oh, I love the way this defense is playing. Offensively, they brought in Jason Peters. He played a solid game against Myles Garrett. He blocked him on some critical plays where they had to have it. It was cool to see. But, man, this was a fun game. Tyler Lockett, Old Faithful, coming through, as he always does, 8 for 81 and a touchdown. Oh, this Seahawks team is moving up in my power rankings. They're now number 1 in the NFC West. They were chasing the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers are going on a bye week watching the Seattle Seahawks thrive. And the Seahawks got the Ravens. Ooh, that's going to be a good game, Mitchell. Be a good game.
Well, this game means a lot because the Cleveland Browns were hot. They were a team on the rise. And I know they don't have their quarterback, Deshaun Watson, not like he was playing all that great anyways. But still, this defense in Cleveland, one of the best in the league. They can steal games at home, on the road, doesn't matter. For Seattle to come away and win this game, it's a statement win. And they get a huge test next week against Baltimore. That's going to really decide, hey, is this team, are they good or are they really good or on the verge of great? Because to your point, defensively, they've stepped up. Offensively, I think they're coming to life pretty good. JSN's coming alive. Big plays back-to-back weeks. Kenneth Walker, limited in his touches, but he's still a huge impact. 66 yards on eight rushes. Your boy, Tyler Lockett, the realtor up there, dominating in the real estate world, by the way. 8 receptions, 81 yards. The ageless wonder, Tyler Lockett, and a tutty. I mean, Seattle, I like them. I like them a lot. They came into Detroit. They beat us in overtime. I mean, they've won big games, and that's the difference. To me, you stack their resume against the Miami Dolphins. This team has beat some big teams, and they got another big test next week. Richard, in your heart of hearts, I know statistically, record-wise and everything, they are better than the 49ers. But if these 2 teams lined up on a neutral site today, who do you have, the Niners or the Hawks?
I don't know, Mitchell, because I don't know who these 2 teams are. But I know right now the Seattle Seahawks are playing great football, and the San Francisco 49ers are not. They got to get that defense figured back out. They somehow lost the juice, lost the magic. So, I mean, we get to see them play twice this year, Mitchell. One of them on Thanksgiving in Seattle. I wish I could be there, Mitchell, but I'll be in New York waiting for that Black Friday game between the Miami Dolphins and the Jets, Jets. But the Seattle Seahawks are rolling right now, hot as fish grease. And I can't wait to see what they do in Baltimore, because Baltimore has won some games, but they've had some puzzling losses. That loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's glaring. It's It's glaring, Mitchell. It's like, what was that going on in that game? What was the formula? Because this defense is getting more and more confident. They got great leadership. They got big-time playmakers, and they're starting to believe, Mitchell. So once you start to believe on defense, it gets dangerous.
Well, like you said, Rich, this team, they're going to be on the rise. I'm sure they're going to be on the rise in your power ranks too. Kudos to the Seattle Seahawks getting it done.
Something magical happens when the third quarter ends and the fourth quarter begins. The energy changes. The fourth quarter is where games are won, where champions are made. And in business, it's where sales teams become legends. That's why HubSpot built Sales Hub to give sales reps the deal-making tools they need to win in Q4 and close the year strong. Sales Hub's prospecting workspace organizes your schedule, goals, and to-do list in one place to save your team precious fourth quarter time. Smart sequences help sales reps close deals faster than ever. With an easy-to-use management tool, reps can find, track, and close deals all in one place. Plus, AI forecasting helps you accurately predict future success, which means less hoping for deals and more crushing targets. Put your sales team on the fast track to winning Q4 with Sales Hub. Learn more at HubSpot.com/sales.
Well, Richard, I know you're going to hear a lot about it tomorrow morning, but these Dallas Cowboys, I don't know who they are because they just either pound the living heck out of a team or lose to a team they shouldn't lose to. But today, they got out early. They absolutely decimated the Rams offense. They beat up on Matt Stafford. They neutralized Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. And then we saw CeeDee Lamb come to life. I know you do not think he's a number one wide receiver, but Richard, did he prove today that he is a true number one wideout in this league?
No, he had a great game though. He had a great game, Mitchell. The true number one still stand in my eyes the same way. But really great game for him. Career high in receptions, career high in yards, 2 touchdowns. Really great game overall for the team. With the pick six, DeRon Bland is a ball magnet. 3rd pick six of the season. I mean, it's credible because sometimes you're like, oh man, that might be a lucky one, or man, I don't know about that one. That was a good play, but he's consistent with him. First 7 games, 3 pick sixes. I mean, that's unheard of in the National Football League. Third player since 1970. He's up for. He up for a Pro Bowl season, and he wasn't even a full-time starter when the season started. Obviously, Trayvon Diggs was. The block punt. They've had one of the best special teams coordinators in the National Football League. He was with the Rams for a really long time, and now he's with the Cowboys, calling a great game. That was a big play. Micah Parsons had a sack in the game, but you're right. They contained Puka Nacua, who's leading the league in targets. Held him to 3 catches for 43 yards. Cooper Kupp, we all know what he does. Aaron Donald got his, but it was too little, too late. Dak played one of the best games he's played this season, no question. 25 of 31, 304, 4 touchdowns and an interception. It's a great game all around for them. That was a complete game for the Dallas Cowboys, and it's coming up right when they need it because the Cowboys at Eagles next week. That's going to be a game with 2 of the top 5 in our power rankings, Mitchell. I'm excited to see that one. That's going to be a story that tells the tale.
Well, who is this Dallas Cowboy team? I mean, because I know you were not the biggest fan of them over the last few weeks, but to me, when I watch this team today, they look legitimate. They look like a team that come out of the NFC. Consistency is the name of the game with this Dallas Cowboy team. Yeah, do you think there's any way in hell they can come out and make a Super Bowl run? Because right now, if they put it together like they did today, it sure looks to me like they can do that.
Well, I would have said that San Francisco 49ers, but how inconsistent they've been, it's hard to guess anything. I mean, they play like this, they're going to be a really tough team to beat, but they just don't play like this every game. They play like this when they play competition that is worse than they are. It's exciting because they're going to run into a competition, guys with winning records. The Philadelphia Eagles are 7-1, and they're playing the Dallas Cowboys, who are 5-2. This is the game of the week. This is the game everybody's been waiting for. I'm excited to see it. This is another litmus test, another barometer for where this team truly is. But they got to feel all confidence got to be sky high coming off this win. The way they did it, all 3 phases, getting turnovers on defense, swarming on defense. confidence offensively. They were moving around. They were running the ball well. Dak was impressive getting the ball to where he needed to get to, was impressive in the red zone. They finally executing in the red zone. They still had the turnover in the red zone, but outside of that turnover, they executed really well. CeeDee Lamb played a really good game. So we'll see, because this Philadelphia Eagles secondary has looked very vulnerable. They got the win, but Washington had their way and throughout that game. And I got to see. I got to see what it's going to look like, Mitch.